journey to the Rio Olympics? My journey consists of 14 years of archery, basically. But there's, of course, a lot more to the story, and I'd like to share that with you. I was very shy during my primary school years. I don't know if you can see me there. But when I went to high school, I embraced a side of me that it only wanted to play sports. It would rather play sports than attend class. It would rather play sports than literally do anything else. Throughout high school, university, and to this day, these are some of the sports I took part in. As much as I played them passionately and wholeheartedly, I never took any of them as far as I did archery. Perseverance is probably one of the biggest things that sports taught me. Despite being a top 3 finish in most of the events I took part in, it took 6 years of constant participation and winning before I was awarded Best Female Athlete and Sportswoman of the Year. These were very important to me at the time, though they might seem small now. Growing up, I found that girls and boys were treated very differently. Stereotypically, a girl is meant to stay at home, love pink, play with dolls, cook, clean. I'm sure you get the point. But these didn't agree with me, so it made me 2 things. 1, a tomboy, and 2, a feminist. One of my first local archery competitions in Kenya, at the time, archery was still a hobby to me. It wasn't even a sport yet. So I went into this competition oblivious. A week later, there was an article in the newspaper. It stated that my scores had eclipsed all those in the men's category. Now, I didn't consciously know it at the time, but I was such a strong believer of the power of the women that I was immediately bound to archery by this little achievement. It sparked my passion. This is a list of competitions I've been for. My first international competition was in Germany 2005, the World Games. Competitions for me became a platform of exposure away from normal everyday life. This exposure encourages personal growth, very important for a child growing up. You meet so many people from different backgrounds and cultures and walks of life that they influence you in all the ways, the best ways possible, technically speaking. You travel, you get to see the world, it's adventure. These are things that I believe all people, kids especially, should go through. My dream, since the first African Archery Championship in 2008, was to make it to the Olympics. 8 years down the line, this dream came true. At the 11th African Archery Championship, I won. Amazing, right? Not entirely. The 6 months between the time I qualified and the Olympic Games themselves actually became some of the worst and most difficult of my life. Winning the championship got Kenya the slot to the Olympics. Fine. The slot actually wasn't mine. I won, but the slot wasn't mine. It would be given to anybody who qualified further, because we need 2 things. I needed to hit a minimum qualifying score, and I needed to be funded. All right? The first, as much as it's very important, the second is technically all I needed. Let me take you back just a little. All right, okay, that's different. Something missing. Okay, I'll take you back just a little. The first time I was ever supported by the relevant sporting authorities in Kenya was actually for the Commonwealth Games in 2010, India. All right? The second time I was supported was for the 9th African Archery Championship in 2012, Morocco. The third time I was supported was for the 66th South African nationals in 2016. The fourth time for the Olympic Games. I will actually take you back. This slide is supposed to be down there. You can see all the competitions I've been for. I mentioned only 4 that I was supported for. Move forward. Equipment is unfortunately not easy to come by. It's not cheap. For my third and most valuable bow, which will actually be the blue one in the picture with the blue and the purple, I saved for 2 years. I worked part-time in human resources, and I taught archery as an extracurricular in schools. And the rest of the part-time I spent training because I needed that stability. The rest of the time, yeah, I put it into training. So it was this bow. I named her Roxy. She's, I don't know, she's like my baby. It was with her that I won the championship and the slot for Kenya. The rest of my savings during that time that I had collected, I actually spent getting to the championship itself. All right? So now I didn't have the resources to get to my next steps, as you can see here. But one word, this is what saved me, believe it or not. After improvisation on what I needed to attend and how long I would attend for example, I needed to be in a training camp for 3 months at least in order to keep up with the people on the top of their game. I could only make it for 1 month. All right? My parents were my biggest support. They were the biggest form of humanity I had. They took me as far as they could. The rest of the support actually came from friends, family, the rest of my family, well-wishers. People who didn't know me, apart from the achievements I could put down on paper, actually got me through. Now that, I think, is really amazing. No, we're still here, actually. The second biggest challenge I had was psychological and emotional. The pressure of the whole Olympics thing, it actually weighed me down. My dream come true turned into what I started to call a nightmare. So many times I actually just wanted to put my bow down and walk away because I was fighting with myself as to whether the way I felt was really worth the person I was becoming, what I was going through. With so many people watching me right now and expecting me to perform, I was scared of letting them down and I was scared of letting myself down. For so many years, archery had actually been my escape from the rest of reality. But now, in those 6 months, I was trying to get away from it. But again, the universe has its ways, and it strategically placed the most beautiful people into my life. These people provided for me. You can't really see them, but I try to fit a lot of people in my life into these photos. So they provided for me. They reminded me that there's beauty in all the things that we take for granted. They reminded me of my strength. They reminded me of perseverance, something I'd forgotten. They reminded me that there's good things in even the baddest of moments, in the worst of times. And the next thing I knew, I was at the Olympics. One of the biggest sporting events in the world. There's some pictures in there too, I believe. It was just a vast world of sports and for me, love. It was everything I'd actually dreamed of in the beginning and so much more. Most importantly is we had made it. I was there, yes, but I didn't make it alone, so we had made it. And I believe that all of us can make it too. Not necessarily to the Olympics, see, because it's about our passion. No matter what our passion is for, no matter where we want it to take us, no matter how big, no matter how small, it doesn't matter. A comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing ever grows there. And I think I've been through my discomfort zone, so I agree with whoever wrote this quote. Thank you.